Hello everyone and welcome to or back to The Gregory Show. Today I will be sharing the behind the scenes stories of The Gregory Show and just running you through the first episode and kind of just talking about everything that went on when making the show and continuing on from there. I hope you enjoy my commentary. So firstly, to start off, I actually am not a fan of my very first episode. There was a lot of technical errors making the show. I didn't really know where I was going to go with this show. Basically, this was supposed to be a one and done, kind of like a variety hour almost. It was supposed to be me telling stories, me interviewing guests, and then me doing a couple sketches. And that's definitely not what it turned out to be. It turned out to be the sketch show you now know it to be, but originally it was never supposed to be a weekly sketch show. What it was actually supposed to be was every month I would release a video. So obviously this was the very first video, and then I think I made a raid day video, which was during the whole alien raid day thing back in 2019. And then I think there was a Halloween episode, a Christmas, and then a New Year's Eve episode. And then in 2020, I was going to continue doing them at school and stuff. But obviously with the pandemic and everything, things just didn't work out the way they were supposed to. And actually, it wasn't until 2021, I believe, when the show picked up again. But this variety show, or I guess the first Gregory show, is such a cringe-worthy performance. Like, this right here, I can't stand this. Just watch. Hello, my name is Gregory Dean. I bet this is very awkward if you are watching on a smartphone right now, huh? Yeah, okay. Oh my gosh. I was really trying, you guys. I was really trying hard to be amazing or whatever. But, yeah, and funny. Which I think that falls kind of hysterical, but you know, what are you gonna do? I was really trying to like bring all the elements of what I thought was appropriate for a show that I was doing. So, you know, obviously comedy, a little bit of like magic, like the chair appearing and stuff, and just kind of being ditzy as myself. And that's definitely not what the show is now. The show is basically me being like, hello, everyone, welcome, and then getting right into the sketches, which is what I love now. Because one of the biggest things that I took away from this first episode was the fact that I talked so much. And I'm a big talker. I'm an extrovert. I love talking. And I tend to get a little carried away. But, I mean, this is 9 minutes, I believe, of me just, you know, blah, 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 talking about my life, talking about why I decided to do the show in the first place, which I guess is okay for a start. Oh my God, the teacher scene, I love this.
This is not the Gregory Show.
And I'd be a little snide. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm sorry that I am more interesting than anything you're teaching.
That's actually something true that I did say to a teacher. That I was more interesting than them. But, you know, don't be rude to your teachers, guys. Treat them with respect. Something that I did, but I was a little mouthy here and there. I did actually have a teacher, though, in 6th grade who would always constantly remind me that I wasn't the Gregory Show, that her classroom was not the Gregory Show, which did give me the idea for a future show. Oh, wait, I like this part.
Listen, lady. One day I will have my own show, and you will be stuck in the same underpaid job you're in right now.
You know what's also really embarrassing is that's how I used to dress. That's honestly really embarrassing. I'm not proud of myself, but you know what? We all have our days. We weren't raised on Instagram and TikTok trends being all like, this is what you wear to school on the first day. Here comes another magic trick. Beautiful. Bravo. The first Gregory Show was actually filmed on an iPad too. It wasn't filmed on my phone like the rest of the videos have been. It was actually filmed on an iPad in my basement. My old theater teacher's here. The shade had to be thrown, guys. The shade had to be thrown. My high school theater teacher was not very nice, so had to throw a little bit of shade there, but we're past it now. One thing about the Gregory Show, though, so this episode was going to be a lot more than what it actually is, because actually this video probably would have been about an hour long if I would have kept a lot of the original material in the show. There were supposed to be musical numbers. There was supposed to be a musical guest, which was going to be my friend who was going to play his guitar solo. And we were going to try and get him noticed through that. And we were going to host an interview with him afterwards and then do the sketches. But then I was realizing this is going to come out to be at least an hour-long show. And I remember a lot of people saying, yeah, if you want to start on YouTube and you want to do like sketches and stuff, it's probably not best to do, you know, an hour show for your first video. Maybe work up to it being an hour show. And I'm kind of glad I did that now, because that would have just been a lot. And I highly doubt people would have sat through the entirety of this show if they would have known it would have been like, gosh, an hour long. I definitely know I wouldn't be able to do the commentary right now if this show was indeed an hour long. But this first show was a lot of fun. I will admit it. At the time, I thought it was one of the greatest things I had ever done. I look at it now and I'm like, okay, you bravo, you did your first show. This show actually, I think, on my YouTube channel has the highest amount of views. It has 342 views out of almost all of my shows. I think, yeah, no, I'm looking right now, and actually it has, yeah, the highest amount of views of any of the shows that I've done, which is kind of sad. Where did all my viewers go? I had 342 of you at the start and 42 of you at the start, and now I have no one. That's really embarrassing. But yeah, so the original concept of the show was it was going to be a lot longer and a lot more grueling probably. It was going to be more of a variety hour, I guess, than an actual sketch show, which is what my intentions were, was to make it a sketch show. And so when all is said and done, it actually did, I think, turn out to be really good, you know, for a first start. I think I definitely kind of, if I could go back and do it again, I would definitely work on like the editing and like the editing of the volume and stuff like that. It's you know how it is. It's very technical and everything. And at the time, I didn't know how to do all that editing and stuff like that. I'm very new to it. But, you know, now this isn't my first rodeo. I have a lot of fun doing the editing of my videos and stuff. I really don't trust anybody else to do the editing of my videos. So, yeah, I have trust issues. But I really enjoyed doing this show. It was going to be like, you know, I really wanted to have musical numbers in my show, and I still do to this day. I really think that I can pull off like doing a musical episode, and maybe one day I will. But there's a lot to a musical episode, and I don't think I'm ready for all that editing yet. Not only that, like the songs that I want to do need people in the background and, you know, different mixing of the voices and stuff. And I don't have that kind of a group of people yet, but that's okay. Maybe one day I'll do a musical number. I definitely, what the idea was for the opening of this show was, so you see Alter Ego, who is like my alter ego character in this, which I don't know why I thought that was a funny idea to create a character like that. But basically, it was supposed to start off where like, he was like, okay, Gregory, it's time to do the show and everything. And I was going to like do like a whole Chicago opening to like the, you know, all that jazz song. And it was going to have like the jazz music playing. And I was going to pretend to like be getting ready and everything. But yeah, it never ended up happening because it was too much running around. And at the time I didn't have the stuff for it. The sketch we're watching right now, Brag Book, I was so excited when I wrote this sketch. And then I watched it, and I wasn't very pleased with it, if I'm going to be completely honest. I wrote it for a reason. I wrote it as kind of like a, what's the word? I don't even know the word for it. Just like a way of kind of getting back at brag book moms, I guess you could say. You know, people who are always bragging on Facebook. And I'm really not one to talk because I used to be a huge bragger on Facebook. My whole life was on Facebook. It's really embarrassing now that I'm older and I'm like, oh, you posted that on Facebook, Gregory. But it's still such a funny sketch. Like, I love the character of Robin with her pink weights and everything, and the blonde haircut, and that hat on, and the New York jacket. I mean, it's hysterical. It really is hysterical, getting to play characters like this. And actually, when I had originally started doing the sketches for this, I wanted to not make like the whole, I guess, drag joke of like, oh, playing women or whatever. Now I don't care. Now I'm kind of like, you know what? It's comedy. People who are sensitive don't have to watch it. But I was really trying to be like, okay, let's just be very neutral. And now I'm kind of like, no. If you see my videos now, I put on so much makeup and stuff. It's not even funny. Like, this cannot top it at all. But this sketch was definitely low stakes in terms of playing the characters. And I definitely think that I want to do this sketch again. There were some sketches where I want to have an episode where it's just called Do Over, and I redo some of the sketches that I think could have been better, and maybe like, give them higher stakes, higher character development, and just better comedy. Because I definitely know that there are some of my sketches that are just a little, I thought they were good at the time, or I just had I had to write something that week, and I was like, okay, let's just go with this. And then sometimes you write stuff that you think is going to be terrible, and it actually ends up being your best work. And that's what sometimes happens to me. Whenever I write something, I'm like, oh, this is trash. I'm like, okay, but we're going to do it anyway because it might be really good. Your life? That line is hysterical. I remember when I was advertising this on my Instagram and I think early YouTube, I was like constantly posting that clip. I hate it. Your life? I mean, it's just such a funny little bit of comedy right there. So there are some good little nuggets and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely would love to redo this, or maybe bring it back in sort of like a new way. So it's not the same sketch, but it's something new. I don't know. That's me taking a sip of my Coke. I'm watching this and drinking my Coke, so don't mind me. Also, the tiara, like, bravo. And, can we please take a moment to talk about me, all the same phones, for one, and then me with the computer screen, and you can see it in the glasses. That's why I was wearing sunglasses, was so that, the audience couldn't see me reading the title card thingy on my computer, which is really embarrassing. Now I just kind of remember the lines, and then I look up and I film. So I'm no better, but because I only get 2 days to film. I filmed 2 sketches in 2 days, sometimes 3 days if I'm lucky. Now, okay, so fun fact about this. So there was never supposed to be a second sketch. I didn't have another sketch in mind. I had 2 sketches. Here's Alter Ego. But I had 2 sketches, and one I hated, which is the nun one, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I was actually going to end the show like this, which is, I'm so glad I didn't, because this is really embarrassing. I mean, this is so cringy. I don't know what I was thinking. I remember my mom watching this, and she was like, Gregory. And I was like, Mom, I'm ashamed of myself enough as it is. Please do not call me out anymore. Like, it's not even like sexy. It's disturbing. Ew. Oh my gosh. Okay. Gregory, no. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I had a shirt underneath, because yeah. Throw it at the screen and then, make it embarrassing. I should have just cut it there, but yeah, that's a proper reaction. I was mortified in myself for that sketch. But yeah, Alter Ego lived a short life on the show. I think he only made it through 5 episodes until I canceled the whole doing it monthly thing. And when I came back to the Gregory Show in 2021, I knew that I wasn't going to bring him back with me. I figured, I actually did consider it for a minute, but I wasn't going to bring Alter Ego back, and I'm really glad I didn't. But to get on with this sketch, the one that's coming up, the nun sketch, which I now bring the characters back, Mary Louise and the nun. I bring them back so much in my sketches because I love them. This sketch that you're about to see was never supposed to be in the show at all. In fact, I was trying to think of a show on the day that this was supposed to be posted to write, and I couldn't think of anything. And I had this written out, but I didn't like it. I just thought it was stupid and it wasn't really funny. And I think I talked to my mom about it, and I was like, I don't know what to do about this. And my mom was like, Gregory, it's fine. Just go with it. And I remember being like, but it's not going to be good. And it ended up being really funny. And so I'm actually really proud of this sketch. And, you know, I'm not mad. So that's good, right? That it turned out good, I guess you could say. I am very pleased with it, to say the least. I think it's a really funny little bit of comedy. And I loved having like the atheist character in it, because my mom was like, you have to at least play one man in the show. And I was like, okay. I love playing female characters. I think they're really fun and funny to play. But now I am getting more into like the discovery of funny male characters. So that'll be fun in the future. But Mary Louise is such a brat. Was that so bad? Also, I hate filming with fake teeth in my mouth, because they always fall out. And I wish I had the blooper reel, because I bet the teeth were probably constantly falling out of my mouth during the shooting of this, because they don't stick in your mouth. They're like children's like Halloween store, like you win them in a gumball machine kind of teeth. Also, the song that the nun's singing, I Just Want to Be a Sheep, I had a friend of mine sing that in college constantly, and so that was kind of like a little nod off to her singing the I just want to be a sheep, ba 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 ba. It's just really funny. But yeah, I love doing this sketch. And okay, this line, quick story time. You can't be an atheist and pray. That goes against the rules. That was said. That's a true statement, or a true thing that I said to a friend of mine who was a quote unquote believed atheist. We were in a very nice church in New York City, very old church, and I remember we're all kind of running around the congregation, just kind of looking around and seeing what's going on and stuff. And he was like, always would pester me and my friend about being Christians and stuff. And he was like, oh, I'm an atheist, blah, 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 blah. And we were walking around the church and just kind of viewing it, because, you know, old New York church is beautiful. And I was coming around, and I see him in the pews, and he's praying. And I walked up to him and I said, you can't be an atheist and pray. That goes against the rules. And he's like, what rules? And I'm like, Jesus' rules. And I'm like, wow, Gregory, you're stupid. You have a lot to learn. But yeah, that was a really funny little incident, which is actually why I think I did end up doing this the way I did it, was to have this funny little bit between Mary Louise and the atheist. And I actually, little hint, oh, I love this, size matters. Or yeah, size matters, is that what it says? Yeah, that's every nun, they've been through this one point or another. But I do plan to bring the atheist and Mary Louise back for a sketch in the future, so it's coming soon. Okay, so funny joke about the oof, what did he do? This is a true story. I had a friend of mine tell me how when he went to a Catholic church when he was a kid, when they were walking in, they saw the statue of Jesus on the cross when entering, and he was stoned, and it was very graphic, and the kid was like, ooh, what did he do? Oh my gosh, I love that joke so much, but a lot of people didn't get it. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.